I look like a mess today, but that's fine, we'll roll with it. Hey besties, and welcome back! Today, I'm taking you on a journey with me. The journey that is my hair. If you've been around for a while, or if you've gone back and watched any of my older videos, then you've definitely seen me with my dark hair. You might be surprised to know that's not the only hair transformation I've had. So buckle up as we talk about how I went from my naturally level 4 dark brunette hair to platinum blonde and everything in between, because it's been a long journey. This is Mini Maya. As you can tell, Mini Maya is a natural brunette. Most children get their first haircut as a toddler. My mom cut bangs on me when I was in kindergarten, but my first actual haircut that I got, aside from just cutting bangs, the first time that my hair was actually cut, I was in 5th grade. I was 11 years old for my first haircut. I now, as an adult, have a lot of feelings about that. It was like pulling teeth to get a haircut at that point, but I was finally allowed to get my haircut for the first time. It didn't end well. It did for me. I liked my haircut, but there were a lot of tears in that room, and they weren't my tears. I was pretty much told at that point that I was not to get my haircut again. Awesome, right? What, preteen girl who loves her new haircut likes hearing that it looks horrible and that you're never allowed to get your haircut again? But I digress. When I was in middle school, L'Oreal came out with this hair color mousse. I just had to look it up to find the name because I know that mousse hair color still exists, and it was called L'Oreal Color Pulse, and it was everything. L'Oreal Color Pulse was my first time trying to color my hair, and it didn't really take. When you have dark hair, it doesn't like to take another color on top of dark hair, which makes sense, and that had no ammonia, no bleach, it didn't lighten hair. So I would try to color my hair, and you didn't even notice. And that was what middle school is like for a teenage girl, I guess. Then we fast forward to high school, and that's when it all really started for me. I was allowed to get a trim, just a dusting off the ends, but for me that was huge, because it meant I actually got some hair removed. My hair wasn't all just dead ends. Problem though, I have eczema on my scalp, and I always have. My eczema breakouts were really, really bad back then. I'm having a bad one right now, and it's the first bad one that I've had in many years. That's actually why I always have acrylics on, because if I have acrylics, I can't scratch at the eczema. I believe it was around my birthday, my freshman year. I could be wrong, it could have been earlier, but I believe it was around my birthday, so around May of my freshman year, that I was finally allowed to dye my hair. I didn't get to go to a salon, I didn't get to lighten my hair. I could only use box dye, which is fine. I mean, as a 14-year-old girl about to turn 15, what else did you expect? All I knew was that I wanted red hair. And just in case y'all weren't around in the mid to late 2000s, red hair wasn't popular back then. I know it's having a moment now. The last few years, red hair's been having a moment, but back then, red hair was not common. That was back when miahlee had just launched her own career as miahlee instead of as Hannah. That was, everyone had that like iced coffee shade of brunette hair, which I did love, but I knew that wasn't realistic, and that isn't my personality. Throughout high school, I kept coloring my hair red. Actually, the exact red hair dye that I used was this bad boy. She was the moment. I bought her all the time. This exact shade. This was my girl. I can never forget that box dye. I'm pretty sure it was for my 16th birthday. My mom actually sent me to the salon that my cousin owned to get my hair professionally colored. The only thing was, when she called and booked it with my cousin, she said we were not using any bleach to lighten my hair at all, so it didn't really make a difference. That's no shade to my cousin, that's just because when you have naturally level 4 hair and you want to go lighter, you can't do that without lightening. Pure basic science. My hair ran the gambit of shades of red based on how recently I'd last dyed my hair, what lighting I was under. No matter what, we would say it was a solid auburn. I'd say my hair was a solid auburn all through high school. It got towards the end of my senior year, and I decided I was done. I loved the red, but I'm like, I'm gonna go off to college. I want a change for college. A few weeks before I left for college, I went to the salon that my mom had always gone to. It was the salon where I got my very first haircut. I had 2 pictures, one of the cut that I wanted, one of the color that I wanted. I kind of just wanted to cancel out the red at that point because I wanted a fresh start. At that point, my hair was like this. Can you tell how much that hair overwhelmed my body? I wanted it to about, for lack of a better way to put it, nipple length? Is that too vulgar of a term? Would bra strap length actually make more sense to say? That's how long I wanted my hair though. This is hair that any time that I went to the bathroom, I had to lift my hair or put it over my shoulder, otherwise my hair would go in the toilet. It was that long. Just so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't have any pictures of when I left the salon, but it was not what I wanted. at all. My mother ended up calling the owner, and a separate stylist gave me highlights a few days later because my hair was far darker than I wanted. I was okay with being level 4. What I was not okay with was being level 2. Listen, that looks really good on some people. I'm very pale. That does not work on me. After the highlights, my hair ended up looking like this. It's cute, right? Honestly, like, that stylist, she did the damn thing. I didn't do much to my hair freshman year, and then when that summer rolled around, box dye became my best friend again. Box dye was nice. It was low maintenance. It was affordable and easily accessible. Then I made a dumb decision. I wanted to go lighter. I could now. Nobody was stopping me. I wasn't living at home anymore. I was out on my own. I had gotten my first apartment in Salem. Things were going great, and I wanted to go lighter. I got highlights again, and they were good. I liked them. My ex's family had a pool. It didn't end well. There's a reason that I'm now so anal retentive about my blonde hair in a pool. After my highlights turned green, one of my friends went to beauty school. She ended up deciding that she would just do my hair for me at home. We started coloring my hair level 4. I don't remember what it was, but I know there was no red to it. I did not want to welcome red back into my life because I thought that girl was done. So then what happened? Why am I not still my natural low upkeep color? My ex and I broke up. I know that they say that after a breakup, a girl changes her hair. A girl changing her hair means that she's a whole new person. She's ready to take on the world. This was different. This wasn't because I wanted to be a whole new person. This was personal and this was petty. My ex had told me multiple times he never wanted me to cut my hair. I was back in that trauma cycle of not being able to cut my hair. He told me never to cut my hair, never to color it. He only liked my hair as a brunette. He didn't know if he'd be with me if I colored my hair. He hated the idea of me coloring it. So when we split up, I cut my hair, not by a lot. I do have to admit I didn't cut it by a lot. And I didn't go blonde yet, actually. I did a balayage. It was cute. It was a moment. We loved it. But time passed. I was broke. I really couldn't afford the upkeep. My roots grew out. It was not a good time. I leave my retail job. I start bringing in way better money than I could have dreamed of when I was just working my original crappy retail job. I have the money to do what I want with my hair. Keep in mind, this was my choice. Different people prioritize how they spend their money in different ways. I prioritized my self-care and taking care of my hair and making myself look like somebody that I like being, if that makes sense. I wanted to feel like myself when I looked in the mirror, and I knew I wanted to be blonde. Also, look at that length that I had going into this. Lindsay, you are an absolute angel. I don't know how you did this, but I told her, hey, I haven't been to you in over a year. I want to chop my hair and I want to be blonde. So we did this. This was one session, like 6.5 hours, but one day. She did tell me repeatedly, you know, you might have to lose some of the length. And I kept telling her, I want to chop it. I want to chop it. I need a change. I want to chop. It was not as short as I wanted it to be. But she said, we were already significantly changing my hair color and we're significantly changing the length. We can always take more length off next appointment. We can't add more without buying extensions, which are very expensive. So I understand why she did it the way she did. She did the damn thing that night. Yeah, that night. I got out of work early that day, and that was after work. The amount of days that I would be at the salon with her past midnight doing my hair, as time went on, my hair got shorter and it got more platinum. I was told I could not be blonde and I could not cut my hair, so I said, fuck you. And I went blonde with short hair, and I was living for it. Everybody at that salon said, you know, we've known you your whole life. This is you. Like, you were born to be a blonde. This is your personality. This suits you. You are a blonde. And I've never felt more myself than when I'm blonde. We've tried all different methods of blonding. We've tried a lot of different shades of tone. Eventually, as much as I love Lindsay, my stylist that brought me to blonde, I stopped going to her to start going to my friend Steph, who owns her own salon that I'm sure y'all see me talk about all the time on Instagram, and the blonding has continued. We think that we finally found like my perfect blonde, because as much as I wanted to be white blonde, I feel like this is my perfect blonde. And you know what? I'm not dealing with hair loss from being blonde, which is insane to me. I went from this to this with barely any hair loss over the years. Literally over the years, I've barely lost any hair. Today at the salon, brushing out my hair, there was no hair in the brush. I don't understand it. How have I been keeping my hair healthy? I'm glad you asked. I have so many products and tips that have definitely saved my hair from being as damaged as it could very easily be. First, and probably most controversial, is I only wash my hair once a week. On that note, I actually don't use a hair conditioner, which I know sounds wild. With blonde hair like this, I should. But my all-time favorite hair conditioner was discontinued. If y'all have followed me for a long time, then you know my holy grail hair care product was the Wella conditioner in the orange bottle. That still exists, but it's been reformulated. So now instead of conditioner, I use a hair mask. Once a week when I wash my hair, I use a hair mask. And it has changed the game. I used to use the macadamia oil hair mask religiously. Now I'm a big fan of the Color Wow Money mask, but I will also always use the Eva NYC therapy mask. I'm sure there's some other really good ones out there. Those are just my ride or die hair masks. For shampoo, I've gone through so many. And it also depends on what shade my hair is. When my hair was a white blonde, I couldn't use purple shampoo, fun fact. It would stain my hair. There have been quite a few instances of purple shampoo staining my hair. And I went through the gambit of purple shampoos. I did Eva, I did Joico, I did Redken, I did Fanola. I jumped on the bandwagon and I did Fanola. Fanola did really good at toning out brassiness, but it also did really good at staining my hair purple. Now that we are this shade of blonde, I do use a purple shampoo. I use the Design Me purple shampoo. And in what is quite possibly the most important thing for when I color my hair, I will make sure that the night before I go to the salon to brighten my hair or get my roots done or do anything to my hair, I use a clarifying shampoo. Sometimes I condition, sometimes I don't. I don't want anything in my hair for the bleach to have to get through. And then when I get out of the shower, I don't put any leave-ins in my hair. I don't blow dry my hair. I let my hair air dry, so it's just in its most natural state with no product. Clarify the hell out of your hair before you bleach. I am begging you. I used to use the Paul Mitchell clarifying shampoo. Sometimes I use Neoxin. I'm actually a big fan of Neoxin just in general for my hair. But for the last 2 years or so, I've been using the Way Detox shampoo before I lighten my hair. When I get out of the shower, I have a routine that I put my hair through. I'm not gonna show y'all my full routine, but I am gonna show you the products that over the years have made the biggest impact on my hair health. I'm not showing you a wet brush, but I think y'all know that a wet brush makes all the difference. This guy is life-changing. I have gone through so many little guys of him before I finally got the jumbo. The Lanza Trauma Treatment. It used to be a pump of this when my hair was shorter. Now that it's longer, 2 pumps through the mids and ends. Game changer. This quite literally is, I'd say, probably 85% responsible for my hair health. This bad boy I have not used in a very long time. It's been long since discontinued, but I can say this is the reason that my hair has ever behaved. The Wella Brilliance Leave-In Balm for long colored hair. If y'all have been around for a while, you know this was my holy grail product of all time. It smells like jelly beans. Literally would just spray this in my hair, brush it through. Life-changing product. I miss it. Wella, bring this back. This was everything. If you weren't aware, especially from pictures of little me, my hair is naturally curly. I've never once embraced my natural curl. All of the damage I've done to my hair, yeah, my curl pattern is pretty much gone, but it still comes out as frizzy, puffy messes, and that controls that. Y'all know that serums are kind of a necessity if you have dry hair, right? And I have very dry hair. I did the Olaplex. It made my hair go very yellow. I did Verb Ghost Oil. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I did Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. I did a lot of that. And again, it was okay, but my Kerastase serum has changed my life. I do also love the Kerastase Blonde shampoo. Not the purple one, but the clear one. This is a very expensive product. If you don't have the budget for it, I do not blame you one bit. I wouldn't have had the budget for this years ago. As I said before, prioritize what's most important to you. My hair, my appearance is very important to me. This keeps my hair healthy. This, amazing. If you've ever wanted to be blonde, let me introduce you to my favorite product. I'm pretty sure they've changed the package, but this is the IGK Mixed Feelings Toning Drops. This, you add to anything and it turns it into a purple toning product. I mix it with that serum, or whatever serum I'm using at that point, because I've literally used this for what feels like years now. I'm pretty sure it has been years now. I think this is like my 3rd bottle of it. I love it. I love it so much. You literally just flip it upside down, press that button, and the drops just come out. You mix it in your palm with whatever other styling product you're using. Boom, all of a sudden it's purple. It's toning. My serum now tones my hair when I put it in. The other thing that saves my hair is after I wash my hair, I let it air dry for a few hours. Not until it's fully air dry, no. My hair takes forever to air dry, so I let it air dry until it's probably about 85% done, which is normally like 6 hours later. My hair doesn't look like it's as thick as it is, but there's a lot of hair. Once I let my hair get to that point, I go in my Dyson Airwrap. I know everybody preaches about the Dyson Airwrap. I still have the original one. I know that they're on like their 8th iteration of the Airwrap now. I still have my original. I quite literally just use the normal blow dryer attachment, get my hair about 95% of the way blow dried. When I do my own blowout, I pretty much always just blow dry it sleek and smooth. So I just do one of these straightening brushes and I just brush it out the rest of the way. It's easier that way. Every night I put my hair up into a bun on top of my head with a satin scrunchie, and then I put on a bonnet, and it keeps my hair healthy. I do have satin pillowcases, but I put my hair in a bonnet regardless. All this is to say, you can do whatever you want with your hair. If you have level 4 hair naturally, if you have dark colored hair, you can still get to blonde. It just will take a long time, and you have to be okay with the fact that you're probably gonna lose some hair. It was a running joke that I was the perfect person to go blonde because of how much hair is on my head. Again, it doesn't look like that much, but there's so much hair. I literally begged my hairdresser the first time I went blonde. I'm like, please make sure some of it falls out. I can't handle this much hair. Plus I want to do a chop. I was the perfect person to go blonde. So why now? Why am I talking about my hair journey now? Like, y'all have seen this in action. I made this big chop literally in a video before I went to LA for the first time. It's because after my wedding, I'm changing my hair. I know, shocker. I'm not sure I'm ready to say goodbye to the blonde. I still feel like blonde me is me. There is no better me than blonde me. But it's time for a change. I've been blonde since what, 2018? It's time for a change. Am I gonna tell y'all what I'm doing? No. You'll find out when I do it. It'll be fun. I'll make a video about it. I know I will. So I guess this is sort of an ode to my blonde hair before it goes away. It is wild because anytime that you change your hair color, so much actually changes that you don't think about. The colors that you wear look different when you change your hair color. The makeup that you can wear is different when you change your hair color. Everything is different when you change your hair color. I guess this is a funeral for my blonde hair. There's no other way I can think to put it. Will I ever go back to blonde? Definitely. I love this too much to say that I'm done ever being a blonde. Again, blonde is me. I've never felt more me than when I'm blonde. But it feels like a right time to start a new chapter. You'll get a bit more content of me with this hair, but very soon, you'll see something new. Something fun and exciting, certainly. Something that I never in a million years thought I would be doing to my hair, but I'm excited, my stylist is excited, everyone I've told is excited. You can be whatever hair color you want to be. Don't let somebody tell you you can't do that. Do what you want to do. And if someone tells you no, as long as they're not your stylist saying that your hair is too compromised, if they tell you no, do it to spite them. Because sometimes it might be the best decision that you've ever made. And genuinely, sometimes a new hair color or a new haircut really is all that you need to pull yourself out of a funk and remember who you are. A new haircut or a new hairstyle can give you a whole new lease on life, and I highly recommend it. Remember, hair is temporary. You can cut it, it grows back. If you wish it was longer and you don't want to wait, you can get extensions. You can color your hair, you can color extensions, you can get wigs. Everything is temporary. Do what makes you happy, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what makes me happy. And if I hate it, and if I immediately want to go back to blonde and my hair says no, wigs exist, which honestly might be better for my scalp because I got on scalp bleach today and my eczema is screaming at me. Although shout outs to my friend Steph, who is my stylist, because she did literally everything in her power to make sure that my scalp hurt as little as possible. I warned her up front that my eczema was acting up, and I told her, I'm like, I still want to get this done. I'm prepared for the pain. She was more than willing to reschedule me because of my eczema flare-up, but like, she did everything that she could to make sure it hurt as little as possible, and like, she's amazing. Do you like to change up your hair color? Do you change your style often? Do you feel more you with one hair color than another? Or have you never colored your hair? Because I know plenty of people that have actually never colored their hair, and when I tell you how badly I want to get my hands on their hair to color it just because I need to see that lift on perfectly uncolored hair, all I want is to put bleach on uncolored hair and watch that lift. Let me know about your history with coloring your hair and your most dramatic hair transformation. Even if it's just a cut that you feel like changed your life, what was your most dramatic hair transformation? What hair made you feel the most you? If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. I put out new videos every Wednesday, Sunday, then alternating Mondays and Fridays. Wednesdays are beauty and lifestyle related, so if that's what you're here for, hi, I'm Maya. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, otherwise YouTube will never tell you when I post new videos. It's a little bit broken like that. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. It actually helps a lot more than you know. I will link some of my favorite hair products down below in my Amazon storefront. Not saying you need to get them, not saying that you need to get them from Amazon, but if you feel like getting them, or if you just want to know what my favorite products are, they'll be down below. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I don't know, but I've been told the world outside is oh so cold. So